Hey guys, what's up? Ivo once again, Rainbow McLean for life. I wanna welcome everyone back to another movie review, which is more movie reviews coming up for Wesley Snipes. And today I'm going to review and talk about is of course none other Hard Luck, which came out October 17, 2006. It was released straight to DVD and oops, my DVD fall. It was It was released straight to DVD, and I think Hard Luck is underrated thriller and not one of Wesley Snipes' best films, but one of my favorite movies that he did. Once again, yes, another film that I enjoy. Was written and directed by once again by Mario Van Peebles. That's him. He was he was in Highlander 3 Kane, and he also was in New Jack City, who also directed the film. And this is the the second collaboration between Wesley Snipes, Bill Cobbs, and Mario Van Peebles, because all three of them they reunited the second time after New Jack City. Because this has been 15 years after New Jack City. So Hard Luck is definitely one of a really good ones, thrillers. More like a horror film, but it's more like a thriller, which is a really good one, which of course stars Wesley Snipes, Cybill Shepherd, and Mario Van Peebles in the main role. And Larry Brand, who wrote the screenplay, he was a producer. He called Mario Van Peebles, and he told him he wrote a screenplay called The Middleman, because Hard Luck originally was actually The Middleman titled. So Mario Van Peebles was very surprised that he chose him for the direction and for the script. And he read the script and he really liked it, and he decided to go and cast Wesley Snipes. He wanted no one else but Wesley Snipes, that they both worked on New Jack City. And Mario Van Peebles, with the original screenplay, they were actually two male serial killers, and he decided to change into a female serial killer, and that's how Cybill Shepherd came on board. No, that's actually her. Cybill Shepherd, she was cast in this movie. She was perfectly choice as cast as female serial killer in this movie. And I'll talk more about the film. But honestly, I prefer Hard Luck over New Jack City. I don't like New Jack City. Mario and Peebles and Ice-T are good. Ice-T is good in that movie, and it's still a good movie, but it's just not my favorite because I'm a fan of Wesley Snipes, and I don't like his character, Nino Brown. He grabs a young kid, a little girl, she's just a kid. He grabs her as a human shield to save his ass. Oh, he grabs a knife and stabs Russell One. Or he lives in a fucking mansion while other people are dying because of the crack. And he goes and he's pure evil, and I don't like those kind of characters. I don't like those kind of people at all, who are pure evil and looking only for themselves. And that's what that's what New Jack City was. And Mario and Peebles tried to send people to with a message in that film, but it's just was never my favorite. I used to have a DVD. I don't have the DVD anymore. So I have instead this movie because I prefer this movie and enjoy this movie. And I know people say New Jack City is a great movie, it's a classic. I agree. But I prefer Hard Luck. And Hard Luck is actually underrated. And you have to face it's underrated even for direct-to-video. It's much better paced, it's much better. I love this kind of characters that Wesley Snipes plays. I love his character a lot more than Nino Brown. That's one of the reasons, the difference, because I don't like those kind of characters that are evil bully man, that are bullies and that are evil and are murdering innocent people. And this movie, his character tries to do better, and he becomes a hero on the end. And yeah, he goes and saves people. He's a hero on the end. I prefer they should make more movies like this. And Hard Luck is underrated movie in my opinion. One of the most underrated Wesley Snipes movies ever. Now, I'll get more into the character and I'll explain more why I prefer this movie on New Jack City and why Hard Luck is my movie. It's also rated R film. It's a thriller and it's 1 hour 41 minutes, but this DVD is 1 hour 37 minutes long. But I'll get more into it. Now, so now, like I said, Larry Brand, he called Mario Van Peebles, and Mario Van Peebles was produced in this movie. He didn't want no one but Wesley Snipes. He cast Wesley Snipes in the film, and he also directed the film. And Wesley Snipes, Bill Cobbs, and of course Mario Van Peebles are all three once again this movie, just like in New Jack City. But in New Jack City, Wesley Snipes is a cool gangster. This movie, he's the unluckiest man. He's actually the unluckiest man in the whole planet, and he's lucky. He lost everything. One day could turn to be luckiest day in an unlucky man's life. He's the most unluckiest man in this planet. He's unluckiest man, and like the title says, one day could turn into a luckiest day in a lucky man's life. His name is Lucky. I don't have his last name, but his name is only Lucky. And yeah, so Hard Luck has 3 stories. This movie has 3 stories and talks about 3 stories. The first story talks about Wesley Snipes. He plays Lucky, a high-profile criminal, and of course ex-drug dealer, ex-gangster, who was serving hard time in prison. He met this girl, Philomene. I think she was his parole officer. He met her and he fell in love with her. After serving hard time in prison, he decides to clean up his act and he's looking for hard work. And he marries her. He finds out she can't have kids. So they buy a dog. They call him, I think his name was Scraps. I think was that name. And one night he goes, he's rushed into emergency because I think he was shot, and because they had operation, he actually got ill with some disease. And when he wakes up in a hospital, everything's been gone because there was a Hurricane Katrina. And in one moment, in that country, in the South Upstate, he lost everything. He lost his dog, his wife, his home, his job, his money. He lost everything in one day, in one night. 3 years later, he goes. He was homeless. He was. He moved to New York, and since then, he tried, to just to live by. This is no Rocky movie. He's no Rocky. Rocky is no Rocky. Just like you see my poster right there from the original Rocky. He's no Rocky. He's selling stuff on black and white because because it's a living. And he was homeless because he lost everything. He was homeless, And in 3 years, he actually, was just trying to get by. So with 3 friends, he decides to go to this disco club for his friend's birthday party. But what he didn't know in this birthday party, it was a drug deal business, and his friend was selling a gun for $500,000 and drugs. And what Lucky found out is that those people who are pretending to be mobsters were actually dirty cops. They were undercover dirty cops. And this deal went horrible gone, and his friend was killed with those cops. And because Lucky, he found those 2 suitcases full of money, $500,000, which they were wired with blue dye. He grabs 2 suitcases, breaks the window, jumps out the window, kidnaps this striptease this stripper. He goes and kidnaps this stripper, Angela, points her the gun, kidnaps her, escapes with the car, while he holds her hostage in a motel. He finds out that both suitcases are actually dived with money, and when Angela, he demands that she goes and strip, which she does. When she opens the suitcase and starts to grab the money, whole money, everything explodes, and that collar does not go away, and whole money is now ruined. So they keep the other $500,000 of suitcase. In meantime, the original cop who's looking for Lucky, he has he's been called back by Captain Davis. Mario Van Peebles is actually a cop who's looking for gangsters, and he's looking for Lucky because he thinks that he killed people in the club, but he didn't shoot anyone, he didn't kill anyone. And he calls him and tells him, that he will lay off Lucky because he's gonna deal with him. He knows that his cops, are actually dirty, and he gives them a choice, that they can leave, they can go away, by they all can just go away. They're gonna get a pension, or they're gonna go to, or they actually will go to prison. But of course, Captain Davis, he's still searching for Lucky. In the meantime, Lucky, with Angela, which Angela becomes his associate, even though they argue, and she says that she's gonna claim that he raped her. Said, "I rape you. I don't even want you." So they go to Louis Gassman, who's actually a mobster. He's a gangster, a mobster, and he's shooting. He's gay. He has a boyfriend, and he's shooting these porn movies, in porn industry. They go to $1 Million Mendez and ask him if he could help him out. So Mendez gives them a car and tells them where they can go in the cabin. So they go to so they actually go to the diner. There's the story, still talking about. So in the diner, so that's actually the first story. I'll talk about Lucky later, because now I'm gonna go to another two stories when Lucky and Angela are in this diner. Before that we meet the second story. The second story talks about these two serial killers called Sawtooth Killers. Yeah, it's been called Sawtooth Killers. And of course Chang, he's a Chinese, or I'm gonna call it a Korean. He claims he studied 17 years martial arts. He loves to torture. He's a kidnapper. He loves to torture people. I don't know if he kills people. I don't know that. And Cass, played by Cybill Shepherd, she's actually an old lady. She's actually a girlfriend of Chang, and they both together. They are both Sawtooth Killers, and she is killing people. Chang is torturing, she's killing people. They love to do that. They love to torture and kill people, and they are the two serial killers, and they're both girlfriend and boyfriend, and they torture people. They kidnap and they put them in this chair and torture them on sadistic ways. And also Captain Davis searching for Sawtooth Killers, and of course Cass, she's actually a mother of unstable mental boy, older man Eugene. She's taking care of him while she actually is torturing and killing people. One of the motives that she reveals to Lucky when she captures him, spoiler alert, but she captures him, is because because people were mean and they were bullying her son, and since then she became psycho, and she decided to pay back, and I think she was doing this for revenge. Actually, it wasn't. She tell Lucky it was actually to that girl Rain, but I'll get more into it. The third story. The second story talks about Sawtooth Killers who are kidnapping and torturing people, And the first time in a parking garage, they go and kidnap this young girl, and while they're actually torturing her, and they tie her up to the chair and torture her. The girl, she dies over heart failure. They didn't know, that she had a bad heart, so over heart failure she died. They buried her, and they decide to find, to kidnap other people. So they go to this diner. And the third story talks about Rain. I think maybe it's that girl, about Rain and her boyfriend Roland, played by Kevin Thomas. Rain and Roland are a couple. Roland, he's a profiler boxer, and they both are actually poor. They lost money, and Rain doesn't like that her boyfriend is boxing in the ring, and that he gets hurt. So she wants that they stop. She wants that he stops. But they try to move upstate to New York because they have no money. They are broke. They have no money, and they're traveling alone. And when she goes in the back of the diner, she gets kidnapped by Cass. And when Roland, finds this out, he runs to the van, but he also gets kidnapped by Chang and Cass. And that time Cass goes and she slits Roland's neck, and she kills him. While she goes and tortures on a brutal, sadistic way, she tortures Rain at everything, at all costs, because she's a she's a psychopath. And now we go to the first story. So Lucky and Angela, they're now, Lucky tries to escape during the back of the diner, but he gets caught by local sheriff and his deputy, because they think that he didn't pay, that he tried to escape by not paying the bill in the diner. But Angela saves him, so they go together to this cabin. Their car breaks up, the car breaks up. They go on foot. They go to this cabin. They try to survive, but Mendez goes and he calls. This cop who's also looking for Lucky, because he wants his money back, and tells them where they're staying. So at night, another girl who's a cop and two guys, this bald guy and his accomplices, they go with the shotguns and start shooting at the cabin. And Lucky goes in and shoots this girl, and he shoots both the guys, shoots both the cops in self-defense. But Angela, she's hit, she's bleeding, she's hit. So he decides to help her out. He grabs the suitcase, hides the suitcase in the hood of the truck, and he says that he's gonna call the ambulance. So he tries to save his girlfriend. So he sees, this farmhouse. So he goes to this farmhouse, and he doesn't know, but Cass and Chang are living there, and he asks them for the phone and for the help. So Cass lets him in, and they kidnap him, and they torture him. And that's when actually the first story, the second, the third story, crosses each other, which I thought Mario Van Peebles did a great direction, great story. So Lucky finds out that he and another girl that he never met are both victims. They're both now to be tortured and then killed in a ruthless way. And Lucky tries to save him, to buy his time, and saves himself. So he tells Cass about suitcase full of money, and he wants that she lets him go, and he's gonna bring her more money. And of course, Chang, I think he goes. It was Cass. She went to the under the hood of the money, so she bring the money back. They're both filming. They have video cameras. They're filming, and they're using those loudspeakers, and they're filming this shitty music, and and that's how happens, And Lucky tries to convince Cass that he will give her money full of the suitcase. he tries to buy time. And when Cass, when they're filming, and Cass, she opens that suitcase, and she tries to grab the money, the bomb explodes the dive in the fucking face. And that time, Lucky gets free. And he goes and he starts fighting Shank, he kicks Shank's ass. He goes and saves Rain, he unties her, saves her, yes, he saves her, he saves the girl. He fights off Shank, uses martial arts, fights him, and on the end he goes, I think he breaks his neck, I think he breaks his neck on the end of the film. I'm not sure, but Rain gets free. She grabs a knife, and Cass says, "What, you think I'm gonna beg? No, I expect you to scream." And she goes, stabs her, she stabs her, a bitch, and kills her. So Lucky becomes a hero on the end. He saves that girl, he saves her, he becomes a hero. So he calls Captain Davis. Well, Captain Davis, he follows the lead of Lucky to the cabin, and he finds Angela, grabs her, takes her in the car, and he gets a call from Lucky, and Lucky wants to turn himself in. He decides to turn sawtooth killers, in order for get free. That the charges will be dropped. And so Captain Davis shows up, and Lucky tells him about sawtooth killers, and of course Rain, she says, these two kidnapped me and my boyfriend Roland. They killed him, and this man saved my life, and I just love that. Lucky becomes a hero. Then this motherfucker shows up. Eugene grabs Captain Davis, tries to kill him, and Captain Davis, like a pure badass he goes and strangles the son of a bitch, which I love that. And of course, I think Lucky helps him on the hand, but yeah, he lets go Lucky, and Lucky says, I have to go now to find my girlfriend. To find my girlfriend. Angela says she's in the car, and on the end, they stay together. Also, he gets $200 for the reward for sawtooth killers, and he becomes a hero, and the movie ends. He saves Rain, he becomes a hero, he saves her. It's like these two serial killers, Cass and Chan, are like natural born killers, like Mickey and Mallory. And I think Natural Born Killers could have that ending in which both those idiots are dying. And I thought this movie is better than Natural Born Killers. I thought this movie is better. I thought it was perfectly. Wesley Snipes did a perfect job as Lucky. I love his character than Nino Brown. He's unluckiest man. He lost everything. Now he's been chased by cops, by dirty cops, by mobsters. While he tries, while he has this stripper that's just jagging and nagging him through all the way, and he tries to just survive, and he tries to, he's unluckiest guy on the planet, but today is his lucky day. That's how this movie was titled Hard Luck. Mario Van Peebles as Captain Davis, we see him riding a bicycle, talking to this cop. He did a great job. He's a badass. Mario Van Peebles did fantastic direction, great story, Mario Van Peebles. You're awesome. Great screenplay by Larry Brandt. And I just enjoy this film a lot, man. I have enjoyed Hard Luck a lot. Cybill Shepherd as Cass did. She actually was perfectly cast as a serial killer. She did great. I enjoy her as an old lady. She did great. She was in Moonlighting, and there's also full of pictures of her when she was young, when she was in high school, when she was a cheerleader. They're all pictures of her. So Mario Van Peebles did a great job. This guy. This Chinese guy, I can't find this guy, James Liao. He was in Prison Break in season 4, and he gets killed in Prison Break in season 4. He was Chang. He was okay, but the rest cast, Aubrey Dollar, she played Rain. She was awesome. I wish she would be in, I actually do wish that she would be in this picture. but suddenly I don't have her in this picture. I don't have her in this picture. But Aubrey Dollar, she did a fantastic job as Rain, as a victim. And I love, and this is what I prefer Hard Luck over New Jack City, because I thought that Hard Luck was better, but it went direct-to-video. I do enjoy music score by I think was G. Mario Roswell, Adam Smart. No, it was actually Trey Adams. He did the music score by Trey Adams. I enjoyed the music score. I tried to get the soundtracks from this movie on YouTube, but it's impossible. I only one by Trey Adams, and that was The Last Mile. That was the only soundtrack I could got, The Last Mile by Trey Adams, but he did a music score, so the music score for Hard Luck was still a good one. Great performance by Wesley Snipes as Lucky and Mario Van Peebles. Great direction by Mario Van Peebles. And I just love this title. One day could turn out to be the luckiest day in unlucky man's life. There's also the Italy and the Germany has this movie on Blu-ray, but I only have the DVD. And there's only there's only an interview with Mario Van Peebles who talks about this movie, and there's 7 deleted scenes, but I did not watch them. But I did watch, about the script of the film, how the script was. And Mario Van Peebles changed the script into, because there were two male serial killers, but he decided, to make 3 stories about 3 couples. And that's what I love, Angela and Lucky, Cass and Chang, and of course Rain and Roland, which I love that. Ken Thompson's Roland was also okay. Was shot in 56 days on October 3rd and November 28th, 2003. Lucky, he's in Hard Luck. Lucky, he's unluckiest man on the planet. Isa Moreno played Philomena in this movie. Also Mike Messer, he played Eugene in this movie. And I do like The Last Mile by Trey Adams, but there are more songs, But yeah, the Cybill Shepherd, she perfectly fit the role as cast as a serial killer. And like I said, this movie is about 3 couples. And yeah, she's perfectly in this movie. Now, this movie is not an action. It doesn't have an action scenes that much. There are a few. There are a few shootouts in the disco club, in the cabin. But it's not an action film. It's more a thriller. But for 2006, because this was actually filmed, this movie actually was filmed. It actually was filmed in October 3rd until November 28, 2005. Was released in October 17 direct-to-video. And I know many prefer New Jack City. I prefer this movie over New Jack City. I thought Hard Luck is still a good movie. It's a damn good movie. No, this is the spine. In the back, you have nothing except this one. But yes, Hard Luck. I enjoy Hard Luck a lot. I have nothing but praise for Mario Van Peebles. And like I said, I prefer this character, Lucky, over Nino Brown. He doesn't kill anyone. He shot those 3 cops in self-defense. He kills them in self-defense, and he kills Chen in self-defense. But he doesn't shoot anything through the whole movie, even though he was a gangster and he said that he ruined a lot of black lives. But he is a good guy. He's a hero. He becomes a hero in the end. He's an anti-hero to a hero. He's a hero in the end. He saved that young girl. She will be dead. She will be tortured and then she will be dead. And I love that. They don't make movies like this. 5.1 on IMDb, that's bullshit. This movie deserves higher, in my opinion. I have really enjoyed this film a lot. Hard Luck is a damn good film, entertaining film by Mario Van Peebles and Wesley Snipes. For the direct-to-video, it's not a bad film. I'm glad I do have this one on DVD. It's also released by Sony Pictures. But I'm just fine with the DVD. You know, I have other films on the Blu-ray for Wesley Snipes. Now, I don't have New Jack City. I used to have the DVD. I don't know where it went. I think I threw it in the dumpster because I don't remember that much anymore. But that's my review on Hard Luck 2006. Another Wesley Snipes direct-to-video movie that I enjoy that many doesn't. And I think this movie is forgotten, but still a good one. So yeah, that's my review on Hard Luck. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. And that's gonna be The Contractor. I think it was 2007 or 2008. It's another film that I really thought was a good one by Wesley Snipes. Anyway, take care. And my dog Rick says, bye-bye. I'm out. Peace.